last night I had a little breakdown because I realized that no one has ever asked me, like in my life, has ever asked me how I realized I was trans. So I'm gonna talk about it while drinking a smoothie. This shit, Lord and Saviors of the anorexics, liquid, creamy, bananas, blueberries, strawberries, protein. Anyway, so back in like middle school, I think early middle school, like 5th grade, not even middle school yet, I started talking to this guy, and he was my friend, and he was transgender, and that's how I found out what transgender is, by meeting this guy. And I started to think about it, you know, because once you find something new, you start to think about it, and I realized that I was not a female. Well, I'm a female, but I wasn't a girl. And yeah, I didn't know I was trans yet though. Back then, I just thought I was non-binary. I thought I loved them, they, them pronouns, and you know, I did for a while. I was non-binary, and then I found out what agender was, and I was like, ooh, that fits better. So started identifying as agender, and that was like up until like 7th grade. No, much later than that, up until like after 8th grade, like when COVID. I found out I was trans during COVID. I found out I was a transgender male during COVID. So the straw giving me a little bit of burpees, that's okay. You know, and I came out to my mom about being non-binary or agender or whatever, and she was just like, where'd you get that from? Like, she thought I was getting it from my friend who I found out was transgender. Like, yeah, I'm non-binary because one of my friends is a transgender male. Make that make sense. I always wanted to go on testosterone even before I knew I was a transgender male. But back when I was non-binary, I was like, ooh, microdosing? Yes, scrumdiddlyumptious. That's not the case anymore. My experience being, like, non-binary, it was kind of nice, but everyone just saw me as a girl, which I kind of understand because we were young, but, like, I was this one chick's, like, gay awakening, even though I wasn't a chick. I don't know, that's kind of fucked up, in my opinion. Fuck her. It was nice, but it was very tiring having to explain. One time, I used to like be a little naughty on the internet, and I was talking to a guy, and he was like, how do you pleasure yourself if you're non-binary? So I just played along, because he obviously thought I had nothing down there, and I was like, I pleasure myself through my nose. And this man full on believed me about that. That was awful. And then I had that little hyperfeminine phase that, like, a lot of trans people have, trans males have, before they come out. Like, I was like crop top short skirts every single day for like a month before I was like, man. Yeah, and then came out as trans. I didn't actually come out because no one fucking cared. No one gave a shit. I told my friends, they were like, okay. Started calling me he. Not a big deal. My friends are great. The ones that are still around. My mom was like, whatever. She didn't give a shit. No one gave a shit, okay? And I know that's not the case for everyone, and whether you had a great experience or a horrible experience, this is just the case for me. No one gave a shit that I was trans. No one in my life cared. But it was kind of great because after I started, you know, saying I was transgender male instead of non-binary, people started, like, not calling me a she, which was nice, even though, you know, kind of bullshit. Little bit of bullshit, okay? Yeah, I started to feel more masculine. I started to get repulsed by even being called by they them pronouns. I used to get really repulsed by being called she her pronouns, but they them pronouns were honestly worse than being called she her for some reason. And then honestly, I think someone slipped up one day and called me a he. You know, just people do that all the time. They fuck up on pronouns. It's normal. And I was like, oh, well, here comes another chapter in my life. And here we are. I've been out for, I don't know, 2023 now. It's 2023. I've been out for 3 years. I've been out for 3 years. That's amazing. And, yeah, that was my little trans awakening journey, and, it was tiring and stressful, and I still get really dysphoric, even though I am on testosterone. I've haven't had any surgeries yet, like, it's a journey, and it's all unique, so, if you're thinking about this shit, don't stress over it, because everything changes over time, and everything evolves over time. Simple as that. Yeah, that's all for today, I believe. Bye!